And we're live.
This is Tracy.
And this is Sean.
Welcome to Shop Talk.
So, that's my phone over there. Well,
wait for somebody to roll through.
Yeah, sort of lost my train of thought. Let's see. First things first. It would appear, I saw a post earlier from Adam Kraut. You might remember he's a NFA lawyer.
Okay.
He does a bunch of stuff with clarifying laws in different places and stuff, and he does a lot of stuff with the Gun Collective. And anyway, he's also been trying for a while to get on the NRA board and all this stuff to try and be change in the NRA. And he's
good luck.
He's one of those people trying to.
Last time you had people who wanted to change the NRA, they had a split in a new gun organization formed back in the 70s.
Yeah. But anyway, he's been trying to do all that recently and everything. But today he posted a thing where the first lawsuits against slide fire have surfaced. If you look up Adam Kraut on Facebook, you can find copies of it. He posted copies of the lawsuits on there, and they're supposed to have been doing a legal brief. It's a segment they do on the Gun Collective. They're supposed to be doing a legal brief all about that and that I can't remember what it's called. The thing that they put in place to keep people from suing firearms manufacturers.
The Firearm Protection Act. Yeah, I saw something on that.
Yeah, the thing that keeps people from suing
basically
the gun company
the same reason someone who's killed by a drunk driver, their family can't sue Ford.
Exactly.
Or the liquor distributor or the liquor manufacturer. I wonder why. Because they didn't pour the bottle down.
Well, there are some cases where the liquor store itself can be sued.
The liquor store or the bartender
because of the
bar owner.
Sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if the dude was plastered ass drunk when he came in to buy and they sold to him again.
Yeah.
Or if he was underage or or some other extraneous reason, which would make it an illegal sale. Because in most places you can't sell to someone who is obviously drunk.
Yeah. So, let's see if the firearms,
which would be the same thing as you selling a gun to somebody that you know is
a convicted felon. Yeah. Or technically illegal drug user, domestic violence person.
Yeah. And you know that.
Half
not
I suspect. Yeah. And even Trump, even if we suspect, if we think there's a possibility, well, first of all, we do a background check on everybody.
Yeah.
But if someone's sketchy and they're coming in to buy magazines or ammo, or something, or want a particular part, first of all, we don't sell parts, especially if you're asking for trigger parts or parts that can be modified. We ain't selling them to you. But I get and we got the 40. We have to make the background check call on a gun sale. So don't. Damn. So, first of all, that's a suit that plain and simple, the judge should never let that get past filing.
Yeah. Well, I think so far they've just been filed. I think that's all.
And that's going to be enough for the company to reach out to these people and offer a settlement.
Oh yeah.
So all it is friggin' blackmail. If I was doing that to my neighbor, I'd be going to jail.
Yeah.
I got some pictures of you I'm thinking of posting on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to jail in a heartbeat.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all it is. And I'm sure everyone by now has heard what the NRA did, and
if they haven't,
and is either very upset about it,
or hey, yeah, let go,
or they're probably towing the line like some YouTubers who are in the pocket of the NRA are doing. And I mean, you know, you can keep doing that all you want. You can think that the NRA is going to trade a Bumpfire stock for national reciprocity all you want, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, the gun control side of the aisle, when it comes to negotiations, they have one tactic. This is what we want. No, this is a whole dump truck full of what we want. We'll take away this stone and this log. You pass the rest.
Especially since half of the so-called conservatives are on board with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not trading anything because they probably already have. I mean,
they probably helped write the shit.
They probably did. I mean, they all
or at least saw
behind it. They're like, yeah,
or at least
seems
saw,
like a good idea to me.
Or at least saw drafts and gave their okay in some way, shape, or form unofficially.
And don't get me wrong, I hate those damn stocks.
I don't.
I've never been able to get them to work right myself. I mean, I can get maybe 10 or 15 rounds out of one before I get a jam and have to clear it and start over. Yeah. But you got to hold the thing all weird.
Yeah, we don't stock it. If someone comes in and wants one and wants to know if we can order it, we tell them, look, you can order it online yourself. Yeah. We tell them the reasons we don't stock them and don't like them because of accuracy. You need to really practice with it to get, and you really got to do more than just put the stock on. To really get it to run right, you need to change buffer, spring. You need to do a little trigger work. You got to make sure you got a magazine that's not going to friggin' feed a jam.
Yeah, which is something that I never did because it wasn't my gun it was on, and I don't know. As far as I know, the gun was pretty much a stock gun. Just you know.
A $600 gun that they bought a $300 accessory that
the accessory was only $189 until about a week ago.
Well, still,
they
you'd have done yourself a whole world of good if you'd have put that money into an optic.
Yeah.
You know. Or
a
better mags or a better trigger.
Yeah, just
and you would have actually added value to the gun.
Yeah.
And utility. But what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna lie, shooting a full auto gun is fun as shit. Till you gotta start paying.
Till you gotta start buying ammo. I mean,
Or depending on
the first couple of magazines is good, and then you're like, I'm eating the hell out of this ammo. I mean,
or till you gotta replace a barrel.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you don't have a good heavy barrel on there,
well, even if you do, you
got one of these cheap-ass ARs with a pencil barrel on it.
When you add the bump stock or something, you burn up a barrel quick in 223, 5.56, whatever the hell you want. I'm gonna call it 223. And this is the NRA training coming in. You don't refer to it as a weapon.
Yeah.
You always refer to the civilian term.
Yeah.
Which,
see, I've always been conflicted on that because when I worked with Dave, it was always weapon. You didn't call it a rifle. You didn't call it a gun. You called it a weapon. And that was, I guess, come from his military background because him and Red both. Him and Red both. He was Air Force. Red was Navy. It was always weapon.
Yeah.
Everything was a weapon. And everything they did was,
including this wooden Q-tip,
but it was always everything they did was like,
But I understand the NRA's wanting to differentiate that because we're not in the military. We're not talking to all former military.
Yeah.
And we are talking Second Amendment was designed for the civilians.
Yeah.
And it's a firearm. It's a rifle. It's a handgun.
Yeah.
It's a shotgun. The only time I use the word gun is handgun or shotgun. I don't like just using the word gun.
Well, see, that's kind of where I was always split on it, because I always wanted to differentiate which particular weapon I was referring to.
And if you really want to get technical, a pistol is any handheld, single handheld firearm. The pistol versus a revolver, pistol is a semi and a revolver is no, it don't matter if it's a two-shot Derringer, it's a pistol. So you could go rifle, pistol, shotgun, because a shotgun is its own thing.
Yeah.
By proper definition, the way they write some hunting laws and some other laws.
Well, every state
shotguns
does different. I mean,
well,
look at Texas. Until recently,
even federal
because
law,
of their definition of a shotgun.
Yeah, you could
those little firearms.
Yeah,
the little things made on the 500 and the 870
yeah.
receivers. They couldn't have those until recently because of the way that their definition of shotgun.
Yep.
And so they went in and changed it so that it made those legal.
Yeah. See,
because that simple way that they had it referred to meant that basically anything that fired a shot shell, I think, and I believe it.
Okay, first,
I believe it gave
shot
I
shell.
believe it gave
probably paper or plastic hulled cartridge.
But I believe it was like it gave certain dimensions or something. Like basically it was like started at like 20 gauge or something. Because I don't think that the little 410 pistols.
Yeah, were considered a shotgun.
I don't think that those were outlawed under anything as far as I know. It was just those those little short
the
firearms.
Yeah.
They just couldn't have those because of the definition. And I think that I know it had to do with the wording of it, and I think that it didn't clarify, or it clarified too well what a shotgun was.
Well,
so
another good example is New York State conservation law for hunting. I mean, you're up until a few years ago, it's probably been 10, 12 now, maybe 50, maybe a little longer. You could only use rifles in a certain area and shotguns only in certain areas. You use shotguns throughout the state for big game hunting. You could only use rifles in certain select areas.
Yeah.
And the way the law was to define a shotgun, it specifically said paper, plastic hulled cartridge, and smooth bore.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, rifled shotgun barrels came out with Savage slugs, and they allowed those. But under the state's game laws, the definition of a rifle is rifling in the barrel, and the definition of a shotgun is smooth barrel.
Yeah.
So, technically, if they wanted to get technical, they could have outlawed the rifled shotgun barrels.
Well, see, in Alabama, they've gone back and forth on 223 being allowed to be used for deer hunting, because at one time it was centerfire cartridge
larger than 22.
Yeah. And then it was centerfire cartridge, I think 25 caliber and above.
Yeah.
And I think now it's back to being larger than 22.
Yeah. Well, see, that's wrong right there, because 22 is larger. 22 rimfire is larger than 22.
Yeah. But
I mean, technically they're 224 to 226.
Yeah.
Just, I mean,
but it's the thing is that it's such a fine line there.
Yeah.
That some game wardens consider it legal, some consider it illegal.
That's interpretation.
Yeah.
You can't interpret. You got to read and measure.
But show me a law enforcement officer that doesn't interpret when it comes to, something that they don't understand.
Yeah, first of all, it's not their decision whether when
well, they're supposed to enforce the law, not interpret.
Yeah,
the law.
well,
but
when
if
in
they
question,
don't understand the law, they're going to interpret it by what they think they know.
Well, first of all, when in question, they always arrest and then let the DA decide whether there's going to be charges pressed or let the lawyers fight it out in court. So that's the only thing about running the edge of that knife is you can fall off, you can slip off and get your nuts sliced real quick, or you could slip off and walk away unharmed, you know, or you could slip off and be put under the fucking federal pen. I mean, there's only 3 ways to fall: on the blade or to one side or the other.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I don't use an AR to hunt with. Well, I use it for hog hunting, but now I got 300 blackout to hog hunt.
Well,
with,
that depends on your
depends
on your purpose for hog hunt. If you're actually looking to put it on the table, 300 blackout. If you're just looking to eradicate the suckers and you don't care if it runs off and dies a mile away, shoot them with everything. Yeah, you know.
Well, that's the general.
Take and reload your own shotgun shells and roll the shot.
That's the general what most people would like for you to do, because
roll the shot and shit and piss mixture, and then pack it down, shoot them. Don't worry about killing them; they'll die of infection.
They're not quite as bad here as they are in Texas. But they're getting that way because North Florida is starting to get a real huge problem with them, and they're getting more.
Well, some of Georgia
does. Here. Yeah.
I mean, I know southern Georgia's had a problem.
We're starting to see more and more of them around here. I was going down Brooklyn Road, almost at Hart's Bridge, and there was a wad of them just out roaming across the road. I thought it was somebody's hogs got out first when I topped the hill, and then when I got closer, I was like, "No, them ain't domestic hogs." And
they're half domestic.
These weren't. I mean,
I imagine hogs.
Well, I'm sure that they technically probably are.
You know how the hog population, how this hog problem got started, how the big part of it got started. First, it was commonplace for settlers, especially through the Appalachians and certain areas, to mark their hogs' ears, let them roam. In the spring, find the sow, take her babies, mark their ears with the sow's markings. And that's how you identified whose hogs they were. They just let them roam. And they bred. There were no boars here. Wild boar. Then you had these hunting properties that imported wild Russian boars and kept them fenced. When the bottom, some of them would escape. That wasn't really the problem. But when the bottom fell out of that industry, some of them just let them loose. Between the ones that escaped and the ones that were set loose, now we've always had a wild pig population but it was never, they weren't hardy like a boar. And then the boars and those pigs bred, we got the hybrid that was able to survive the winters and off the land better and defend itself against predators. And no one paid attention. Then all of a sudden the population gets big and starts to hit areas.
What I meant by the half domestic
or
the hybrid is like where
you can tell by size and shape.
People have hogs and then they end up getting a wild boar, or a wild sow ends up getting in with theirs and ends up, breeding with them, because a lot of people have like a big, huge area where they,
and their fencing's not that great.
And so they roam over a whole.
Don't tell me a hog can't jump. If a 1,500-pound milk cow can clear a 4-foot fence without a problem, if you've ever seen a hog, they can clear a 4 foot.
They usually go under it, though.
Well, yeah, if they can't go, yeah, they'll burrow under. And I imagine the wild boar has probably got a trait similar to the coyote when they breed with domestic dogs.
Oh, yeah.
The females will go in heat out of the normal cycle of the wild coyote female, so that the half-breed female has her pups in the dead of winter.
Yeah.
Whereas the wild coyote female is going into heat when the half-breed's having her pups.
Yeah.
And that helps clean up the gene pool and stuff. So I imagine the boar's probably something similar going on.
But the hybrid ones, though, you know, they still look a lot like a
some can look a lot like a domestic hog.
Yeah.
Others could look,
but they usually have like different coloration and
there's only,
they don't have the longer hair usually like the wild ones do.
Yeah.
But they look more like a sleek potbelly pig is kind of what they end up looking like.
Yep.
But no, these that I saw, these would look like
had a good amount of boar.
They was a wad of wild hogs is what they look like. I mean, they look like razorbacks almost.
Yeah, and I imagine it may not, like the spread from North Florida up into here, it could have a little more to do with how much wild boar they do have in them. Yeah. The more the wild boar gets refined, the larger they can expand their territory because they're able to adapt and survive in it better. Yeah. And then again, you also got just pure population. They have no choice but to go look for food sometimes.
Yeah. Well, that's why they keep spreading out because.
Yeah, that's the other thing about wild hogs, man. They get into an area, they will eat it raw to dirt and then move to another area and destroy it.
Yeah. That's pretty much what they do. That's what they're good for.
And in a place like northern central Russia, where there's plenty of land and that no one does anything with, you don't notice it. 5 years later, you come back, it's back to the way it is, and the hogs are making another cycle through.
Yeah.
But when you get into, say, the East Coast, the border, when I say border states, I'm talking the outer edge of our country, you get to where the population centers are, and it doesn't take much to push wild animals when their population starts to grow into suburban and farming areas where they generally avoided because there were people and they were hunted.
Yeah.
So, anything going on? No.
No. Night Strike was in here trying to defend his Bumpfire stop, but I mean, I don't want the things to be banned or anything.
I don't either.
Don't like them.
I don't either.
But I mean, if you want one, you should be able to have one if you want it. I mean,
well, I think you should be able to have full auto if you want it.
So do I.
I mean, I'd prefer that over the Bumpfire stock all day long.
I prefer like 3-round burst or something, but you know.
Well, that would save me a little money.
But well, you can still maintain accuracy a lot easier than you can. I mean, having accuracy with full auto is pretty difficult. It's a
controlled aimed fire.
Yeah.
Our U.S. military has studied it and proven it in battle that it is always the most effective way to fight.
Well, full auto is more for suppression than for
you got a 10,000 North Vietnamese charging your post where you got 100 guys on a fob. You want some full auto.
Yeah. You don't really even need to hit them. You just gotta. It's out there, and if you keep coming, some shit's gonna hit you.
Yeah. We're gonna eventually get. We're gonna slow. You're gonna at least have to climb over a few dead bodies here and there. You're still probably gonna get us, but we're gonna take more of you with us.
What you got there, Tracy?
Well, a Derringer that was really broke and messed up when I picked it up. It's been kicking around the workbench area for a good part of 2 years now. And the first, I mean, when I got it, the safety flopped all over the place and didn't work. there was a bolt through holding the barrel shut.
Yeah.
Instead of your lever and latch, and it wouldn't switch from top to bottom. Some of the things we did, the first thing I did was, okay, first of all, this is a
Let me see
model.
clear that picture up a little bit.
Model RG17.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I bought it, it was rusted enough. I thought it was a Davis Industries until I cleaned it up. But model RG17, imported through Miami, Florida. Actually, is it Miami? No.
It should be RG. Isn't that?
Yeah, that's Miami. Okay, I was looking. I thought I know some came through Hialeah.
Yeah.
But no, this was through Miami.
The lighting is just lighter than normal here for some reason. It's weird because all these lights are off over here.
Yeah, you can turn them on, but
no, that just make it worse. That
well,
just wash it out worse.
Yeah. So parts, I mean, this Derringer hasn't really changed a whole hell of a lot since 18 something.
Yeah, they're all basically built the same way. I mean, there's little differences in like the way the latch
maybe the spring. Some of them might have a flat spring instead of the coil spring. So you know, it's all little stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the first order of business was see what kind of parts I could get. Safety parts, forget it.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, that safety's redundant. Yeah. I don't like them. I don't like safeties to begin with, but it's redundant because it has the original half. Safety. Well, it has the half cock.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's my reasoning too. Your finger is your safety, and don't point the gun at it unless you want to destroy it.
Yeah, and if it's new enough that it has,
well, a Derringer has to have a half cock by design.
Well, yeah.
Or some kind of transfer bar, and it's a Derringer. They're not going to put the money into a transfer bar. Half cock notch, boom. So the safety is not an issue. We just pegged that. It don't move. You can't. I couldn't move it with a hammer if I wanted to right now.
Yeah.
The next issue was, okay, in order for this thing to work right, we got to get it to switch barrels.
Yeah.
Switch firing pins. So that meant a new star. The star that it was in, it was chewed to crap. So I got a new star, and it was off one of the newer guns, and it required some fitting. And it still had a problem, and the problem turned out to be some burrs in the frame, and things that was just causing the star to hang up here and there. Trim that out. So now we get nice change, and the trigger is nice from the factory on this one. This is an older, before the lawyers got involved. So now we change without a problem. So the next issue is, okay, taking a bolt out to reload. It's a Derringer. I'm not getting in a gunfight. I don't generally plan on reloading if I'm carrying my Derringer, but I do like to carry 2 extra rounds just in case, you know, so I may find a good place of cover and need or want to reload.
I always thought it's a good idea to carry a speed strip.
I never thought of that.
Because, you know, perfect for reloading it. I mean,
I never considered that, but that is a good idea. Huh. I'll have to give that some thought for my next little things, because I do have Derringers in that other idea I had. So the next thing was find the barrel lock, and had to go with a new one. Luckily, the outside the major diameter for it's right.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part on this Derringer, where you stick it in,
the little recess.
It's recessed, which makes this stick out too far.
Yeah.
Which isn't a problem. We just fill this with a washer.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a problem. That's an easy fix. It won't affect the work. But on the new one, and I needed a new lever to work the barrel lock. And the problem was the old style, the lever dedented in the frame with a bump on the lever.
Yeah.
I can't reproduce that little bump on the lever.
Yeah,
easily.
That's kind of difficult.
And because it's the new style barrel lock, it has slots in it for a spring dedent.
Yeah.
And that was the original plan, was to use those along with a number 7.5 steel shot BB and a Bic lighter spring, the flint spring from a Bic lighter.
Yeah.
Because it's the right it's just a smaller just smaller than the shot pellet. And we're just going to drill down through and into the frame around the trigger and set the ball in dedent just like they do in the modern ones.
Yeah.
Except for we ran into a problem trying to drill the hole.
Yeah.
I didn't. It's radiused in here, and my drill bits kept wanting to drift. I knew that was going to be a problem before I even started, so I had a mill end that was a lot bigger than what I wanted to drill the hole. And I used that so I could get a good flat spot to get my drill started on. Well, unfortunately, the mill wasn't long enough to clear. The chuck kept hitting the top of the frame where I had to drill it. And so I couldn't get a really good flat spot. I got enough to start the drill bit.
Yeah.
But once the drill bit started and got a little deeper and it started getting full diameter, it started to hit the radius just a little bit and it walked it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop it from walking. And I tried smaller bits.
Yeah.
And one of the problems.
We talked about that.
Yeah. One of the problems with the smaller bits is they weren't long enough.
Yeah.
And to get a 3-inch long, 50 thousandths drill bit. First of all, you'd
have to cut it yourself.
Well, you can order them. I could order one that long or longer.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of bow flex in small drill bits.
Yeah.
That's why they're made short.
Yeah.
And that would be a problem with it drifting off center too, or wallowing out the hole, and the next size drill follows off center.
Yeah.
So after being frustrated for 2 days trying to get it to go, I just said, the heck with it. We'll go with the dedent in the side. And I'm thinking, man, there's no way I'm putting a steel ball in this little tiny lever.
Yeah.
So I decided we'd mount 2 steel balls in the frame.
Yeah.
Well, I got those holes set, and I didn't want to go overly deep. Plus, it's starting to push into the hole for the barrel lock.
Yeah.
Because that's how close it is for the diameter I need for this size bead ball. I could go to a smaller ball, but I'm using what I have available. There's no sense ordering a package of 10 dedent balls for $8.
Yeah.
You know, not for a project gun that's going to be worth maybe $70 to $80 when I'm done. You know, so I needed to spot drill the back of the lever to dedent harder on the. Well, we're gonna go with "I'm that damn good."
Yeah. Let me see that. So
see
if I can get a close up of that.
The hole for that dedent ball.
This is pretty damn impressive.
The hole for that dedent ball had to be spot on as far as where it was placed in the lever to hit the dead top center of the dedent ball. And it had to be the right diameter perfectly and everything.
Yeah.
And
good.
I hit it, and I
don't know if I can get a good.
Yeah. But if you look, man, there's just a couple thousandths on each side of that hole.
Or not, and
you want something to point?
I'm gonna take a picture of it, put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I think that's worth showing off.
Yeah, the lever ain't too pretty, but that hole's perfect. And since the hole ended up so perfectly centered, and we're actually going to put the ball in the lever, because one of my reasons for going to the frame with the steel ball bearing was it was going to be easier than trying to do the lever. I figured I'd have to redo the lever 4 or 5 times before I'd get one perfect.
Yeah.
And of course, because I wasn't trying to do the lever, I got it perfect. So looks like we're going to end up peening the ball bearing, which these holes need to be busted out anyways for the larger ball bearing dedent. But we're going to end up attaching the ball into the lever and going with that. And then it's a matter of the last thing to change is going to be the grips, because it's got some grips on it that aren't properly sized for this, so they don't fit the cutout well. And I'm probably going to end up spending way too much time. I already got some fancy pieces of exotic hardwoods. Way too much time making hardwood grips for it.
Yeah.
So I've already got time and money in there, way more than the gun's gonna be able, than I'd be able to sell it for. But as I explained, I like a Derringer for its purpose. Get off me now, so I can run away, or in my case, roll away, and hope I can get further than my van, because while I'm waiting to go up on the van, trust me, you're recovering from that shot I just put in your gut, and you're going to get me. I was considering an auto ejector, like they have on some of the older ones, but the dimple is there from the factory where it goes, which is nice. But this being a 38 special, I know why they didn't put the auto ejector there. 2 reasons on this one. You can't offset it far enough to get away from the ejector slide screw hole. And where the ejector slide screw hole is, you can't go deep enough to get your spring action. And once you drill the hole for it, you're also thin the walls on your chamber enough to where you might get a blowout.
Yeah.
And so multiple factors in deciding, once I took it apart and looked at it, and not doing it. Now, I could make a new ejector that goes all the way across instead of halfway across, and put the auto part on the far side. And I'd have more than enough room there to drill my hole, put my spring.
Yeah.
But to go through the trouble of making a whole new ejector is a little ludicrous for when now, being a gunsmith, and the fact that I'm doing it on my time, and it's just good to keep my skills up. I could do it, but I really don't want to put that much time and effort into this gun. But we'll bring it back, and we'll see it when it's done. I haven't decided if I'm going to refinish it color wise. I probably should if I'm going to make hardwood grips for it.
Yeah.
So we'll probably bring it back with the plastic grips that don't fit right when it works. And I have everything together just to recap it. And then at a later date, you might see it totally refinished with nice exotic, either almost black hardwood, or maybe I'll get real fancy and break out some of my woodworking skills and do laminate, a combination laminate inlay, hardwoods, and get some colors and patterns going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just depends on how much time Tracy has on his hands and what he wants to do with it.
Yeah.
And how much I want to show off certain skills.
So if you want to see the detailing on that latch, you can go check out the Fall Creek Prepper Instagram. It's right here. Yeah, I put a picture of it up on Fall Creek Prepper Instagram.
And let me say something else about the latch. It's still roughed out.
Yeah.
I haven't finished polished it or rounded.
Well, the main thing I wanted to show off was how good that hole is drilled there.
And then we will show you and tell you how we put the ball bearing, the D-dent in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still may have to make a new latch. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it may not end up working out like it should, but right now,
right now it looks
the way that's drilled out right there. That's perfect, and that's almost perfect in there. And Tracy basically just eyeballed that.
Hey now, I never eyeball anything. I'm a precision gunsmith.
That's just how precise.
Actually, the human eye can differentiate quite small differences once it's accustomed to doing it regularly. So, yeah, some people would say, "Damn, you do that too much." But a good machinist is sitting there. Yep, he knows. He's got a machinist's eye, you know. And fingers too. I've actually had to break out the calipers and break out the dial indicators in the lathe. This ain't consent. Yeah, it is. I can't. No, it's out.
Yeah.
Here, watch. Really, 2000s? That's within the mark. Yeah, but I knew it was out. I told you it was out. Yeah. So I like doing that to Daryl. Well, he's a guitar player, you know, his fingers have got those calluses on it. He doesn't quite have that. It's just nice to, and he sticks it to me on sometimes. So we just try not to do it on air. Not that we wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really have a whole lot else. I mean,
I didn't either. I have
legislation stuff and all that crap was the main stuff that I wanted to talk about, because that thing with the lawsuits that just came out earlier today, and then and I figured that the Derringer thing
we had mentioned.
I figured that would take up a good bit of time too.
Yeah, to go through from start to where we're at. You know. And like I said, I got some things in the works. A couple things that just need a little finishing. Got something else that it's going to take a little exploring and may never come to light of day. But if nothing else, I'm going to check it out a little bit just for my own personal interest on that. Yeah. Oh, I got 3 things in the works. That one other thing we were talking about today.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to give it away because sure shit, someone's going to catch this and beat me to it.
People beat me to it all the time, and I never even say anything about it. It's like I'm thinking about doing it. I'll go and order the
You're
stuff
thinking too hard.
Or go dig the stuff up.
You're thinking too hard on it.
Yeah, and I won't even have time to make the video yet, and then somebody uploads the video, and I get a notification that somebody. Travis P11 just uploaded a video doing a review on something that I've been thinking about doing a review on.
That's because he's an alien hybrid and is reading your thoughts.
Well, he does reviews on everything. Yeah. So, I mean, people make fun of him all the time, talking about that he walks around his house doing reviews on household items all the time. But they're not that far off. I mean, he does reviews on everything. So,
Yep.
I mean, the odds are he's going to do a review on something that you're planning on doing a review on at some point.
Yeah.
But
and I'm sure if I search for those,
no, I usually do it different than he does anyway,
Yeah.
because he'll do a review on it, and it's like I'll approach it differently.
well, it's good to watch multiple reviews on things.
Well,
just because of that,
Yeah.
because you can get slightly different points of view
Yeah.
that might apply to your situation a little
Yeah.
more in one than another review.
Yeah.
And also, if 4 different people do different style or approach it from different angles, but they all come out with positive feedback on the thing, you know, you're at least looking at a good product.
Oh yeah.
You know, so multiple reviews on things, but ideas and stuff, some stuff you just don't want to let out of the bag because someone else might have not even thought about that idea.
Yeah.
And dang, even if I do it terribly, I'd like to be the first. And, you know, I have no problem giving credit where credit is due when I steal someone's idea and retweak it and reapply it or something. I wish I knew the exact source of the one idea I had. I'm never going to find it again.
Yeah.
And I'm also one of those guys, okay, I'm a little conspiracy theorist now and again, depending on what it is. And I hate typing. When I get an idea and I'm pretty sure it's an original or it's an original spin on an older idea.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that might be patentable.
Yeah.
I really hate to do an internet search.
Yeah, because that just went into a database somewhere, and who is looking into that?
Yeah.
Who's looking at those search terms and figuring things out?
Who's got their computer set up when those search terms are hit to pop?
Yeah.
Or even the guy just reviewing stuff, maybe that certain search term catches his eye because that's an interest of his.
Yeah.
And he beat you to the punch now or something, you know, so, yeah. And I've had a couple that.
I'm sure there's probably ideas that have made it to light that weren't, you know, something that wasn't there before that happened because somebody was looking through.
And it may not have even been they had an idea of use of any particular use. They might have just been researching a couple different things in a different combination, and it dawned on someone else.
Yeah, like people that have gone and looked for things on forums and such. I'm sure that there's been ideas that have made it to light because of somebody that had the ability to do something.
Yeah.
Found some people looking for something they couldn't find
and decided to supply them with the product.
And was like, I could do that.
Or maybe you see someone pose a question a certain way, or someone answers a question a certain way, and it triggers that light bulb in your head, and you're like, what if I went this way with it?
Yeah.
You know, so, and I'm sure even among think tanks and colleagues tossing ideas off one each other and just general conversation. And you don't necessarily do it on purpose. Me and Sean could have been talking about something technical today. Next week, I'm talking to someone else about something similar and refer to something Sean said. And it gives that person the idea, you know, but yeah, so I like the old-fashioned ways where you get a lawyer and you send him your idea written, detailed, and drawings, and he starts hitting the patent files.
Yeah.
Because part of getting the patent lawyer is confidentiality agreements.
Yeah.
You know, so, and because I've had patent searches done, and I've had ideas where I've actually, before I discuss the idea with the person, email them a confidentiality agreement, they sign it, date it, and email me back a copy for me to print out. And all that good stuff. It becomes long and tedious, and you realize, shit, I've turned into one of them businessman type lawyers.
Yeah.
And that was not, it's not my goal in life. Honestly, it's not. Same with the politician. That was not being a elected political official was not a goal in my life. As a matter of fact, I would have been the last person to, let's put it this way. I almost didn't vote for myself.
Yeah.
I almost just didn't vote in that election.
Yeah.
Just because I'm.
Well, at least you stopped at the small, low level. You didn't.
Yeah, well, that's because I got a belly full. Because no, that's where my elected official stopped. But I was doing things a couple levels above that, and I got a belly full and just decided, no. I mean, that's just I can be that person.
Yeah.
But I don't want to, because that's not the true me. Parts of it may be, but not 24/7, full time, full tilt. Yeah, I got. But we're gonna quit on that. Oh, and that's just like some of these news headlines lately. You know, the one you mentioned earlier about the Firearm Protection Act, the Industry Protection Act thing. I had seen a headline that referred to it, and part of my brain was like, read that. And the other part of my brain was like, no, you're going to end up with
clickbait.
Yeah, you're going to end up with, upset stomach or a headache.
Well, see, I probably would have scrolled past it till later if it hadn't been that Adam had posted it.
Yeah,
because I tend to read things that he posts, because he usually doesn't post things unless he has some unless he has some long lawyer speak to go along with it. And so that's
what got you.
Yeah, that's what got me, because he was talking about doing a legal brief segment on it.
Yeah.
And so I went ahead and read it, and
and my whole thing was I'm staying away from it because I don't want that upset stomach, headache, and it's just going to make me nuts. It's not worth it. Now, I'm not saying I won't read that stuff. I do find myself on some days when the phone doesn't ring, no customers come in, and I don't have a lot of gun work to do, and my arms need rests frequently now.
Yeah.
And so I get a little bored, and I might, the third time past the article, it's like, shit, I got nothing better to do right now. And sure enough, I'll get that upset stomach or headache, or, the wife loves it when I do it at home. Are you talking to the computer? Yeah. Actually talking to the dummies that put this on the computer. Yeah, they don't hear me any better than the computer does.
Well, on that.
Yes, we filled an hour.
Yeah.
And we stayed
pretty well
on
topic,
much gun related
for the most part. Yeah.
So that's what we'll have to do. We'll have to next week. I'll bring up. We'll visit the fact that a photographer uses my shop and warehouse every now and again for some of his photos.
Yeah.
And we can.
I think we've mentioned that a little bit.
Well, we can give time to time. We can give him a
but
good.
It's been a while.
We can give him a good plug. Put a link up and show some of his pictures.
Yeah, we'll do that next week.
Yeah, that will be a.
That way you can make sure it's okay with him. And,
me promoting.
I'm pretty sure it
trust
is,
me, he doesn't mind when I promote him. The biggest thing is, and generally, if he puts his picture, the pictures he puts on Facebook, if you repost them, he doesn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
because he has permission from the models to post them on his open Facebook and stuff. Matter of fact, if you go to some of the models pages, there's pictures that he's taken of them that he sends to them in private message or email.
I saw some pictures of one of his models on 97X's page the other day. Yeah. Some pictures that were taken up here. She was the
you recognize
she was the babe of the day or babe of the week or whatever.
I think I know who you're talking about. I know her by name. But yeah, those might have been pictures that he private messaged her.
Yeah,
because even though they weren't anything that would be filtered, really.
Yeah.
By even some strict child filters, maybe.
Yeah.
But those pictures he allows, he won't publish them openly on his site.
Yeah.
He keeps them in his portfolio.
Yeah.
And they're for that reason. And put them out on their domain, or their website, or their Facebook page, or share them on their Instagram. That's them.
Yeah.
So. But I always like to ask before I do.
Yeah.
If I'm using it on the shop Facebook page or something.
Yeah.
Then if I'm just reposting on my own personal page or something, it's usually a plug for Rick. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
So, well, this is Tracy.
Well, one thing that we forget to do lately
is plug
gunchannels.com. The update your subscriptions. We've moved the new Shop Talk videos of Fall Creek Prepper YouTube. So it's youtube.com/Fall Creek Prepper. The old ones are still at Andalusia Armory, but we moved it because of some weird issues.
Yeah, password admin and other
things. It was a lot easier to do this than to
try to straighten out the other mess.
Because it just kept getting
certain
passwords kept getting messed up and stuff. So I just decided to just start putting them on the Fall Prepper channel instead.
Yeah.
So go and subscribe to the Fall Creek Prepper channel. Also on VidMe, Fall Creek Prepper. That's that'll get you everything, and also the reviews and stuff that I do are over there, which I also upload those to YouTube as well. Fall Creek Prepper Instagram, Fall Creek Prepper Facebook, Andalusia Armory Facebook.
And since you got me on your Facebook, I think we have you on our shop Facebook. If not, we got to get a link there.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the next few weeks, you might want to look. We're going to put a web page up for the shop, and because we're not going to link the Shop Talk to the shop web page for certain business reasons.
We may put certain videos up there if they haven't gotten too political.
But because they're going to be on Fall Creek Prepper, we will put a links page on there eventually with Fall Creek Prepper on that link page if you want it.
Okay.
And there is going to be a tips page on the website, so we may actually put some links on that for some of your reviews and or other stuff. So.
Yeah, that'd work too, because they don't get political at all.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, I know. I
just do the whatever I'm doing on those. I usually don't even put myself in those videos.
This is
most of the time it's just my hands.
Yeah, this format of talking back and forth, and especially if we hit some dead air time, it's too easy.
Those videos should get a little bit better as I get a little bit better at manipulating, because right now I'm manipulating around my tripod. And it's kind of awkward, so I'm kind of
hang your tripod from the ceiling.
I may try something like that to get a actual over top view
Also with the tripod on
my
the
tripod's
ceiling,
basically the same as that.
well, if the
pretty
tripod
much.
on the ceiling, you ain't got to walk as far around it. It can be
Yeah.
a lot closer, and you can work up close to it and move around quicker than trying to get around the table and the tripod.
That's true. Yeah. And I should have plenty of room to do that because the area that I do it on is a closed in. It used to be a porch, and the ceiling is kind of high. So
you don't even need a true tripod. The center of the tripod and one
I got a little flimsy one. Yeah. You know those little ones that are made out of like little, and it's like telescopic.
Yeah, don't shake the table.
Yeah. They work well if they're like
short. Yeah, the wind blows.
But when you extend them out, they're not very good. Yeah, I got one of those somewhere at home, and
light, easy to hang.
Yeah, I could just keep it closed up and just hang it.
Yeah,
just for the mount is all I really need. But and I've been working on that, getting it a little bit flow a little better and stuff. So.
Yeah, our brains never stop. From one idea to the other, and that's how some get lost. I'm sure Sean's experienced that.
But gunchannels.com, Fall Creek Prepper on pretty much all of the media, Andalusia Armory. If a page comes up, it's probably
us.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there's an Instagram that doesn't really have very much on it.
Yeah,
I think Daryl posted a few pictures on it.
Yeah, and I think we got
a few of the when those were first done, I think.
Yeah, now we also have a Pinterest page that I tried to start keeping up, but
I've never been able to do anything.
The way Pinterest works, it doesn't seem to be friendly for promoting a business or something, maybe getting some interest in a new product possibly, but I just never saw a use of keeping it up. So I mean, maybe we should delete those accounts, but who knows?
Just keep it anyway. Even if you don't do anything with it, you got it.
That's true. Once you lose a name.
I mean, I had Fall Creek Prepper for a while on several different things before I ever started using it, just because I wanted the name.
The name, that's the thing is, and that's it with the Andalusia Armory. It's like you lose that name space on that particular thing, and it's gone. And you put the hyphens or other stuff, and
although my Twitter is Fall Creek Prep because
they had a character limitation.
That's as long as it allows, and the only alternatives I could come up with were already used, so I couldn't really get anything else. Couldn't just do Fall Creek.
FCP.
FCP and FC Prepper was those were already in use. I couldn't use them. So
Okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
This is Tracy.
And this is Sean.
Thanks for watching Shop Talk.